just planing down the spline that I put in there at the back, so just use my block plane for that. Now I'm down close to the surface there now, so just retract the blade a bit, take a finer cut. Now, okay, I'll get piece of 240 grit sandpaper here now. I'll just give that a light little rub. I'll marry this in afterwards. I'll get a colour match with my dyes. They'll be oil based, or spirit based I should say, to get the colour down. So for the moment, that's the spline as we have it there. So you can see there where it is jointed. It's hard to see where the glue line is. So that's given all the structural strength there. That's the old joint, like new again now. So we're ready now to glue up. We'll do that. Just glue the tenons and the joint and the mortises as well. So we glued both sides, both tenons and mortises. Let me see now, this one is over here, polished edge to the top. We get them shoulder lines as well. That's the squeeze out the glue, just gives a tight joint. A closed joint I should say, so we just pop that full in there. Same thing this guy. Now I've roughed up the tenons as well, just with scores across with a chisel, just to roughen the surface. The rougher the surface, the better the key. You can see there the old screw holes from the screws that penetrated through the front of the leg, which you normally wouldn't ever do in a repair, but everybody has a go. Nothing wrong with having a go. We all have a go. That's how we learn. So we pop that full in there now. Okay, we can glue this guy up now as well. Two front ones. Now I'm probably putting on a bit more glue than I should, so it'll squeeze out. And normally with a new project I wouldn't put as much glue on. It's just that it's old, it'll absorb into the old wood here because it's drier. So that's that guy. Just get my front legs now. I have the repair work done on the side of that again. Again, we'll rub that back and we get a colour match. So that was all splintered. So I put that back together again. You can see the old nails that were there, previous repair. I've left them there rather than breaking it open again. So I'll glue this. Now that when you do go to put these guys back together again, you don't need huge clamping pressure, because remember you're relying on the joints to do the structural holding of the Morrison tenon, to do the structural holding of the chair or wherever the piece of furniture or joinery might be. So if all fits well together, the point is we don't need huge clamping pressure. So we put this guy in there. Now we put this guy in here. Now remember that I've already tried it as a dry fit first, so you don't go gluing up unless you do a dry fit to pop it together first, just to make sure everything is hunky-dory. Now you just use a wet cloth. Always have a wet cloth to hand when you're, or a damp cloth to hand when you're assembling. it's always necessary just to clean off the excess glue. Now that's good, that's going to be as good as new when that glue dries. So in this case, I'm not putting standard sash clamps on it. I'm just going to use a belt clamp, so we get that now. So this is a belt clamp. These, you pick up these in any of the discount stores. I just cut the ends off them and re-stitch the back parts of the ratchet. And when I put that around the chair here, I just need the one. Just make sure my glue is out of the way there, lest I spill it. So in this case, I have it inside out now. Take it off again. Now I pop it back on again. Now this guy, when you open it fully, you should be able to pull forward. There we go, like so. And pull forward. That's it. Okay. Now just line that up. I'm just going to tighten on it in a moment. Now I'm just going to get a little bit of MDF here. So I'll just turn back so I'm not in the way of the camera myself. So I'm just going to tighten that. Just pull on the ratchet. I'll pull that up there. You just line up everything so it's parallel going around there and it's not dropping. So to the centre of the rail if you can. Get it to the centre of the rail there on all fours. Now when you have it like that, you can see when I'm putting the block there, it'll stop the ratchet from marking the side of the chair. So that's what I have there. Not huge pressure there now at all. So I just make sure I'm happy there and I'm looking good. Okay, and that's sitting on my bench without a twist in it. Now if there's a twist in it, it means that you're after pulling it into twist with the clamp. So always make sure, especially old chairs, could always go back together again, no bother at all, without twisting them. So there's no twisting it there. Now I always like to double check by throwing it onto my saw, so I'm just going to go off camera for a second, just check it here. And that's absolutely perfect. So I'll just go back to camera again here now. And any just surplus glue that I can see that I can wipe, I'll take it off now. When a surface is polished and if glue dries on it, it'll just peel off because the surface protects it from penetrating. That's the chair. The next thing I've got to do, which I don't need to show on camera, is literally just screw these guys back on. I've cleaned them down, I've scored them, and I've cleaned this here as well. So it's a matter of putting them back in to the positions they came out at. And once that's done, I'll leave it a few hours. I'll just come back and I'll take out my little plugs here. I'll take out these guys. You can take them out with a chisel. Now other people send them through the bandsaw and send a line, send it through the bandsaw this way and they'll all fall out. You can also take them out for just the few that I'm using here. They're mahogany again. So take them out, they're end grain of course. So I line them up, I line it up with the end grain facing upwards in the same direction as the grain. I clean that off with a chisel and just give it a light little sand and then I'll tone it up here with the colour. I'll colour match it with the wood dyes that I have. After that, that's chair done. So you can see the back here, I've just colour matched the back here. At this point, just colour match the back there and give it a little bit of polish. So you see that that's the spline on the back and that was the old knot that was in it there, the original damage, because there's no original defect. So that's good now for the next whatever once it's looked after. So it's a nice little easy chair for somebody, or just a chair to place in a spot in a home, just as a function, as a visually functional piece. So that's it. That's the chair repair. Can't show you anymore. I hope that might have been, some of that might have been useful to you. As I said, if you don't have machinery to do it, down the line I'll show some hand tool work where we can do this sort of work by hand without having to use any machinery. But for now, over and out for now.